The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. Some Pharisees approached Jesus and asked, "Is it against the law for a man to divorce his wife?" They were testing him. He answered them, "What did Moses command you?" "Moses allowed us," they said, "to draw up a writ of dismissal and so to divorce." Then Jesus said to them, "It was because you were so unteachable that he wrote this commandment for you. But from the beginning of creation, God made them male and female. This is why a man must leave father and mother, and the two become one body. They are no longer two, therefore, but one body. So then, what God has united, man must not divide." Back in the house, the disciples questioned him again about this. And he said to them, "The man who divorces his wife and marries another is guilty of adultery against her. And if a woman divorces her wife and marries another, she is guilty of adultery too." People were bringing little children to him for him to touch them. The disciples turned them away. But when Jesus saw this, he was indignant and said to them, "Let the children come to me, do not stop them, for it is to such as these that the kingdom of God belongs. I tell you solemnly, anyone who does not welcome the kingdom of God like a little child will never enter it." Then he put his arms around them, laid his hands on them, and gave them his blessings. The Gospel of the Lord. In today's first reading and the Gospel reading, we heard about God's covenantal love for man and woman. We all have experienced our life in the families, and we are born of the love of our parents. In the first reading, we heard from the book of Genesis. There are two creation stories. If you read the book of Genesis, chapter 1, that is the first creation story, chapter 1 and 26. God said, "Let us make male and female in our image and likeness." So at a time, God created male and female in the image and likeness of God. And he blessed them and said, "Be fruitful, be multiply, subdue the earth." And God also gave them power and authority over the creation, over the beasts, over the animals, birds, reptiles, everything. Therefore, Adam is going to give the name to all the animals, birds, the things God created. So in the second creation story, we have heard today, chapter 2. So how he is making man and woman in the second creation story? First, he formed Adam out of the soil, Adamar from the red soil. Then once God created everything, then God said to Adam to name the things, to name the living things. And Adam named everything. But Adam was not happy because he saw that all the animals, birds, reptiles, everything, they had companions except him. So he was not happy because he did not have a companion or a friend. So now God created Eve, or the woman, taking one of the ribs of Adam. So this is what we heard in today's first reading. So actually in the Hebrew Bible, in the Hebrew language, it is not the rib, it is called the side. So God took the side of Adam and made the woman, not the one of the ribs. So that is what we will find. We will find Adam is talking later on. He said, the man exclaimed, "This at last is bone of my bones and flesh from my flesh." That means God has not only taken the rib, but he has taken also the flesh. That means from Adam, he has taken the entire side, or the entire portion of Adam, he has taken and made or created the woman. So this shows that the man and woman are equal. They are united. But sometimes we misinterpret the man was created and the woman was created from the rib of Adam. Therefore, the man is always superior to the woman. But in the two creation stories we see, God is making man and woman, or Adam and Eve, equally. They both are equal in status. So this is what we need to learn from today's first reading. And what has happened here? They become one flesh, one body. So this is what we see God's purpose, to make them united always. And later on we see in the fall, in the account of their fall, what has happened? They were blaming each other. When God asked Adam, he was blaming the woman you gave me, she gave me the fruit. When he asked the woman, the serpent deceived me. So they were blaming each other, but they were never separated. They always stayed together. Although they were blaming each other, they blamed God. Even God did not punish them, did not condemn them. Of course, they were out of the garden, out of the paradise. They lost the divine life, divine love. But God promised them, and God always blessed them till the end. So in the gospel reading we find some Pharisees came and asked Jesus a question on divorce. They asked, "Is it against the law for a man to divorce his wife?" And Jesus told them, "What is written in the law?" They said, "Moses has allowed us to divorce." So during the time of Jesus and during the time of Moses, Moses allowed a dismissal letter to be separated. So the word divorce, according to the Catholic Church, or normally we use the word divorce. Actually, there is no divorce, but there is a separation between man and woman, or between husband and wife. So Jesus said, so the Pharisees were asking Jesus to put him to test about the divorce. And Jesus said, from the beginning, God created male and female, and he united them. What God has united, man must not divide. So Jesus affirmed the marriage, the purpose of God's creation for the man and woman in the Genesis. So that was the purpose, to live together. And during the time of Moses, it was only the Jews were allowed to divorce their wives. It is not the other way. The women had no right to divorce their husbands. So Jesus affirms the marriage, and Jesus also gives the dignity to the women that both can separate each other. And the reason Jesus gives, because Moses gave you permission because you were so unteachable. Your hardness of heart, because of your hardness of your hearts, because of you are so unteachable, therefore Moses gave permission not to divorce but to be separated. So this is what Jesus said. Today, this is a great challenge for us in this modern world. Most marriages are not successful, and we experience, we witness divorce in the church, divorce in the court, divorce in the country. So finally, what is happening? The children are the victims. They suffer a lot. To become one body. What does it mean by to become one body? The children are born from the love of parents. So two flesh becoming one body. The child is becoming one body. It is not the man or woman, they become one. Yes, they become one, but the child becomes one flesh of mother and father. So, what we see here in the marriage, in the purpose of marriage, unity and indissolubility. So, God created male and female to be united always till the end of their life, even though there are problems or difficult moments, persecutions or unfaithfulness. But because of the hardness of the hearts, because of the unteachable people, there is a separation. That is what Moses has allowed, but it was not intended by God. And how to become perfect? We can become perfect through suffering. This is what we heard in the second reading from the letter to the Hebrews. He became perfect, Jesus became perfect, God became perfect through suffering, passion and death. So in our marriage life, in our day-to-day life, we will become perfect if we undergo the suffering, pain, persecutions, even death. He was crowned with glory and splendor because he underwent death. So without death, Jesus would not have risen. He would have not ascended to heaven. There would not have been God's glory. So therefore, in our married life, we have a lot of problems, difficult times, suffering, pains, persecutions, exploitations, unfaithfulness. But we need to also trust in God's providence. It is said, the family prays together, stays together. So prayer is very, very important in our life. The Holy Family of Jesus, Mary, Joseph, always stayed together. Joseph also wanted to divorce his wife when there was a problem. Mary also might have thought, let me be alone. They had a problem, but they always stayed together, trusting in God's providence. And we, the family members, we the believers of Christ should become like a child. We should become like children. That is what in the gospel is talking about the children. Let them come to me, I will lay my hands on them, I will bless them, Jesus said. And Jesus said, unless you become like little children, you will not enter into the kingdom of God. So, we need to become like little children. So what we learn from the little children? The little children are innocent. There is simplicity, humility, obedience. honesty in their life, and they always depend. So one of the main characteristics of children is they always depend on parents. So we also, as children of God, we must always depend on God. But most of the time we depend on money, positions, power, or the human beings. So that is what we are not experiencing unity in our life, in our married life, because we depend on the material things, the physical things, the emotional things. We don't depend on God. So as the children are depending on parents, we must always, the believers, depend on God. And we must always humble to do God's will in our life. Jesus came into this world to give us true peace and joy. Jesus came to unite us all, and He came to bless us. He is blessing the children in today's gospel. So God's blessing is always with us, provided we come to the Lord. As we have come around this altar today, let us experience God's loving protection and His blessings in our covenantal married life, in following Jesus. The Holy Eucharist is a covenant where Jesus is giving His body, His blood, and there is a relationship, the relationship between the church and Jesus, the Christ. In the married life, the relationship between the husband and wife, the children. In the same way, there is a relationship between God, the families, and the church. Let us thank God, the families we have, the parents we have, the brothers and sisters we have, and let us ask in this Holy Mass that we may be always united in God's love and mercy, so that we may always become a good family to carry out the mission of Jesus on this earth.